Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. Salam awal Muharram. If I'm not still late, to wish you all salam awal Muharram to all. And this is our new year for Muslim, inshallah. So I hope that with the new year, everybody have to have a good motivation. Also, have to get a good how to say more positive, okay, inshallah. And I hope that everybody will keep on high effort to have study in this kind online environment, huh? All right, without further ado, I will proceed with topic 7. I believe because topic 7 because why topic 7, okay, all sudden, because for modular mode they will having next week exam, okay. So I have to be rush up on that because I will cover all for them, but I will speed up for the topic that will be included in final exam, okay. For both mode, even conventional and modular, you have topic 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7 for final exam. So it's okay. I will also will cover every single topic, okay, to make sure that we cover the syllabus. But uh, I have to be rushed up a little bit for modular mode because they only have 1 month for their study, okay, for their subject. Okay, so I hope that you can tolerate with me. I'm so sorry if my audio is not so clear, but I hope it will be clear to you all already. Yeah, and I hope that everybody will in a good condition. I know this still holiday modes, okay, because we have our Muharram on last Thursday, and then Friday no class also, okay, and then Saturday, Sunday, of course, the Saturday and Sunday mood is already yeah in with us, right? Okay, so as my responsibility, I have to proceed too, okay. Yeah, topic 7, right? Okay, it's about ethics and corruption in the global marketplace and the contemporary issues in international business. So again, I'm greeting Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. It take a very lengthy for introduction, right? Okay, so I will moving on to the next slide. Okay, what should be covered in this topic? Okay, under topic outline, after studying this topic, the students should be able to, number one, identify the basic concept and definition and origin of corruptions. Okay, we will learn about the definition from different scholars and different view, angle, and also perspective regarding what is the basic concept and definition of corruption. And then the second one, we explain the drawbacks of the corrections. For those who do not know what means drawbacks, drawbacks mean disadvantage atau dalam bahasa Melayunya adalah keburukan. Keburukan tentang apa itu rasuah, corruption. And then the third one discuss the Islamic perception toward corruption and the role of Islam in fighting corruption. So we will learn some scholars, Muslim scholars, and then some Al-Quran verse and hadith, okay, regarding why in Islam we are forbidden, we are prohibited, and the corruption is forbidden, so it's considered haram, okay. And of course, what is the role of Islam in fighting the corruptions? And the last one, we do have discussed the global internet market and green business, okay. Basically for this topic also, I will take around a week to finish, meaning to say 2 class, 1 hour and a half, 1 hour and a half. So inshallah, this one depends if I have more lengthy on explanation on every single of these, so maybe it will be have 3 parts, okay. If like me shorter one, I will take maybe 2 parts, okay. But if you realize, both of I mean like all my video lecture, when I do this kind of the record version, it will have more lengthy. Okay, I told you before, right? When they have more of yeah, when we do live, okay, the drawbacks, okay, we have a very short one, and I have no time to explain more. Okay, and but in other way around, when I do this record version, I have some capability, not capability, actually I have the chances and opportunity to explain more. Okay, and I told you before, if you have any question, just raise out in the WhatsApp group, our official WhatsApp group, to make sure that yeah, it will be like better, right? So after you listen out and then you have some maybe inquiries and some issues, okay, maybe problem regarding the topics, then you can raise out. Okay, all right, so we're moving on to the first slide. Okay, what is the basic concept and definition? Okay, so basically when we're talking about the values, okay, the values is determine what is right and wrong, and doing what is right and wrong is actually the core concept of ethics. So when we're talking about the core concept of ethics, is talking about the basic one. Okay, how does we want to perceive this is the right things to do, this is the wrong things to do? It based on the concept of ethics, and to behave ethically is to behave in a manner consistent with what is right or moral. Okay, and it's stated in here by Sir Shamsul Norilawati, Said Ashrin, Nur Yusmawati, and Karen Tan in 2011. Okay, just to highlight, I'm using this book because this is one of my lecturer here, Said Ashrin. Okay, so sir, if you are maybe listen up to my video YouTube here, maybe yeah, this is from you. Okay, I I also taking subject international with you. Yeah. Also I deny. Okay. All right. When we're talking about ethics, okay, ethic is a different in ethical values, judgment, culture, and the morality and different countries in the world. So this will unintentionally give rise to the differences in ethical perspective of what is correct and not moral. So basically when we're talking about the ethics, every single country they have a different of the value, you know, and the judgment of the culture. And of course when we have a different countries, okay, the morality also will be have different. What might be permissible in Malaysia maybe in another country is not permissible, and if let's say might be permissible in Malaysia but not permissible in Malaysia, so it will be unintentionally give rise to the different ethical perspective. This is talking about different country will have a different belief, different country will be have different ethics. Okay, so of course when we're talking about this is not correct, this is wrong, this is not moral, but in other country part it might be okay, it's be fine with it. So let's we go deeper in this topic so we can see what is the do and don'ts. Okay, all right. So in economy, corruption is the payment for services or material which is recipient is not due under the law. Okay, so meaning to say corruption is the payment or payment for services or material which the recipient is not due under law, which means illegal. All right, are you get me? So this may be called bribery, kickback, or backsheesh. So this is according to Muhammad Shenu 2012. So these scholars, I can say the authors is come from I'm taking this one from the sources of Middle East authors. Okay, so from Middle East country authors. So like before that is from Malaysia perspective, huh? And the corruption have a different dimensions. For example, we have in terms of economic, social, environmental as well as ethical. And the definitions of the corruption depends on the context in which it is being used, according to Mamun Abu Kub. Okay, Abu Kub, okay, 2009. So Mamun Abu Kub also one of the authors is come. The paper is come from the article journalists come from Middle East country. Okay, so of course when Mamun Abu Kurb is stated that they have a different dimension according to economic, social, environmental, as well ethical. So it depends on the context on how we been used. Okay, meaning to say according to the environment itself. If the country might be perceived as something like a good things to do. Okay, why we have like example like gift giving ethics example, right? So it might be okay for them. Gift giving is not considered as a bribe. It's not considered as a corruption. But in other way around in other country, if you give giving ethics, okay, it's something like you are giving some bribe to that country, particular country. Okay, so we're moving to the next one. Okay. All right. Still under corruption. Okay. Um, corrupt behaviors can be divided into two categories. Okay. Dibahagikan kepada dua. And the first one, it's been stated here, one that is undertaken by the person in charge of the public office, such as fraud and embezzlement. And the second category, which involve an exchange between one or more persons, such as bribery and extortion. So this is according to Min 2000. So this is from the article journals that I took from Pepper Western Country. Okay, so yeah, if you realize from here, it's been stated one corruption behavior is be divided into two. One that is undertaken by the person in charge of the public office. Okay, seseorang yang bertugas. Okay, dalam orang kata uh, pejabat awam lah. Okay, ataupun kita kata pentadbiran awam. Can I say that? Yeah, okay. Um, such as fraud and embezzlement. Fraud ni penipuan. Embezzlement ni penggelapan wang. Okay, embezzlement. Embezzlement. And the second category which involve an exchange. Yang kedua adalah merupakan pertukaran, okay, from one person, between one or more persons, such as bribery. Bribery adalah rasuah, and extortion. Okay, extortion ni adalah peras ugut. Okay, if you don't want to give me, I will maybe this portion that I demand from you. Okay, certain amount I demand from you, and if you don't give me, I will spread this news to the public. Example. Jadi macam itulah bentuk extortion, peras ugut. And when people might be afraid, okay, so they will be like have to give. Okay, so the transaction of the corruption and bribery will be occurred due to this. Okay, and corruption can be triggered by the forms of institutional inefficiency, bureaucracy, political instability, and weak legislative and judicial system. So it's been started by Morrow 1998. So if you realize, my sources is quite more than 5 years back. Okay, but I believe on the sources is still very important and is marked in my notes and also your syllabus. So that's why I believe that this point is very important, even though it's quite obsolete more than 5 years. It doesn't say that it's not good, but it might be not updated as 5 years back sources. All right. So according to this statement, it's been stated corruption can be triggered by the form of institutional inefficiency, meaning to say the institution will be likely not in a systematic manage, okay, and it's not in systematically order, because due to people have some other else alternative. If I'm not doing my work well, I still receive some portion of, example like bribery money, right? Okay, so I no need to work hard. Okay, so example, or maybe in terms of bureaucracy, so people who involve, okay, in the kind of this corruption cycle and bribery, fraud or embezzlement, there will be in a one clicks, there will be in a one form of groups, because they believe these people will keep on supporting them and will back up them, protect them. It's something like a red carpet issue, but uh, red carpet, yeah, even though you're doing something like a wrong things, people will be protected you on that. So this is something like not good, because this is something like I can say like bias in the political issues in office. All right, and then yeah, bureaucracy is something like you have your own groups in here, and yeah, it will be like for those power who have the authority will still get the power, and for those who are maybe weak, okay, and not involved, or maybe you don't even dare have that confidence to join like in the kind of these illegal activities, so you won't be a part of in the bureaucracy system. So for the best man will be win, example, right? And of course, we're talking about political instability. It's not good anyway because, as you know, this corruption, bribery, extortions, embezzlement, fraud is considered something like we do not know what where is the sources come from. So in other way around, it might be we'll have some political instability because why political instability? Because um people will have especially those who are lower level do not have any trust anymore with the leader. Okay, so the leader is already shown a bad example, so how you expect that your people, okay, especially the low level employees, middle level line supervisors, okay, managers, will be follow and be honest and trustworthy. Are you get me? Because the leader is already show the bad example, so we said walk to the talk. Okay, we talking about aspirate the corpse. Okay, but where is it? Okay, there is no such thing because you are already involved yourself in the kind of this corrupt behavior, corruption behavior. And also we're talking about weak legislative. Okay, weak legislative meaning to say the rules, okay, will weaken, okay, weaken the authority, weaken the legislation, because the enforcement will be protected by certain authority. Okay, enforcement will be not be done in a very transparent way. Okay, pelaksanaan undang-undang tidak dilakukan dengan secara jujur dan amanah, secara trustworthy, secara transparent. Okay, secara lutsina. Okay, can I say that? Okay, is you already have something you hidden from the public and hidden from your people. So of course it will be weaken the legislative and of course the judicial system. For example, like the court system, people wouldn't have any trust anymore because they will do some kind like in their perspective, in their perception. Okay, they will say like it's the same thing if you go to police, if you go to court system, if you go to judges, to the lawyer, they play with it. So we don't want, okay, we don't want that our country and so do other country have the kinds of something like underrated, can I say that, underrated and weak legislative and judicial system. Whereas the judicial system should show example by giving a fair and square of treatment or punishment or penalty, and in way around for those who are enacted as guilty, example, should be punished on that. So I believe that currently in Malaysia, okay, our government is start to do a very 100%, okay, in terms of for those people involved in corrupt activity, okay, so they will find this who is actually the culprit of all these things. Okay, so I hope that, yeah, everywhere, okay, if you ask me, madam, is everywhere issue, right? This problem is like virus, is worse than COVID-19 actually. But easy to say, right? I always said this one in my class, in my face-to-face class. Easy to say when you are not being challenged, if you are not being tested. But once you have the authority, once you have the power, you will mark my word today. Okay, for those maybe after this is your final year, you will go for your employment, you will go for work one day, you get better position. Okay, you will mark my word today. If you are in the high authority and position or power, you look it, people will test you like this kind of thing. And if you are not strong enough, okay, if you not have some guilty, no faith, okay, you don't have some what we call saying that Allah is watching you, you will dare to do that. But if you keep reminding yourself, okay, don't do that, Allah is watching me, I have to have faith, I want to give my sincere, my transparency, I want to give a clean state of my my earning, okay, to my family. It's all about blood, you know. It's about the price that you have to pay. Okay. Why I'm saying this? Because nowadays, okay, even you are Muslim or non-Muslim, I believe non-Muslim also will be really concerned about this issue, right? Okay. We do have halal and haram. What should do, what shouldn't do. This is the things right to do. This is the wrong things to do. So when you have that guideline, ethics, ethical manner, right? So inshallah, Allah and God will be protected you. Okay, it will protect you on that. But if you just buck it and then you just simply just doing it, okay, for the purpose that for the sake of the money, I can't see anything. I know money is everything right now, but money can destroy you. Money can make you in another position. Money is everything. But remember, your way is not the right way to make everything is in halal way. Niat, your nawaitu is not make your way halal. Niat tidak menghalalkan cara. You get me? Yeah, alright. So, yeah, all of a sudden I become ustazah, right? Yeah, it's not about ustazah. It's about reminder among the human being, right? Hablu minallah, hablu minan nas. I believe that if you not listen to me by today, but at least Allah or God will maybe, yeah, putting something like a very small kick in your heart. And inshallah, what I saying today maybe will make some reminder to you in future. Please bring me to the heaven. All of a sudden, right? Hashtag jalan ke syurga. Jangan sesat jalan ke syurga, eh. Jalan ke syurga. We want everybody want to go to heaven. Okay. So we're moving to 7.2, the drawbacks of the corruption. So we do have 5 here. Okay. If you see, number 1, drawbacks I told you before, right? Drawbacks ni keburukan apabila kita terlibat di dalam jenayah yang dinamakan sebagai corruption ataupun rasuah. Alright. Corruption undermines the economic development by creating distortion and efficiency. So, when we're talking about corruption undermine, okay, undermine ni bermakna mempengaruhi, okay, economic development, how you want to actually survive in your economic development by creating distortion and inefficiency because you are relying in other way around, not in a legal way. Are you get me? So you might be involved in, like example, bribery. You might be involved in smuggling. You might be involved in money laundering, or maybe you might be involved in copyright and counterfeit. So this thing actually all are considered as haram and is forbidden to do. So when we involve in the kind of this thing, you don't want to go for, you already have something like a good taste on doing a bad thing, illegal things. You feel that this much more quick to get this earning compared to when I work every morning 8 to 5. There is nothing. I work hard, but after all, people not appreciate me. I'm not getting much more money as when I go with this kind of illegal things. So this is actually creating distortion and inefficiency because you don't want to do the way that your routine job. Okay, you think that that one is quite lame, and maybe this my right job or halal job is quite slow in terms of the earning. Example, so that's why corruption actually undermines the economic development. Okay, dia mempengaruhi dari segi pembangunan satu ekonomi tu. Tapi didapati dari segi distortion, okay, daripada kita kata tidak membangunlah dengan cara yang baik, dengan systematic. And the second one, corruption destroy the structure and the pattern of economic development and reduce the efficiency of the economic activity. So when we talking about corruption destroy the structure and the pattern, okay, so meaning to say you don't want to, as I told in the point one just now, you don't want to go for the legal things. So you will move to the move to the another way around, to the illegal things, because you feel that the illegal thing is much more better, is much more what we call, the taste is so lovely. Can I say that? Lebih menarik sebab lebih dapat income yang lebih banyak dan cepat berbanding kita menggunakan kerja kita yang sehari-harian, yang kita pergi ke tempat kerja tu dia lambat. Okay, so in terms of here, it reduce the efficiency of the economic activity. And example, if you go for like smuggling, you smuggle, in other way around is benefits. Memanglah. Sebab apa dia benefits? Because it's benefit for those you can actually run away to pay for your income tax. Bukan income tax lah, actually your business tax. You tak payah bayar cukai to the country that you want to maybe expanding your product because you smuggle, you menyeludup. But the God, Allah is watching you, whether this is the thing that the right things to do. Are you get me? So meaning to say, you are actually reduced in terms of the efficiency. Supposedly, the efficiency of the business from one government, from one country to the country should be with paying the tariff. But because you are doing smuggling, you are run away from paying the tariff. Okay, so the economic patterns start to have like, some way around. Okay, and then a country with abundant resources but high government intervention will have the tendency to get involved in the corrupt practices. So it been stated in here, certain country, they have abundant resources. I give example like Malaysia. We have abundant resources. We have the palm oil, we have rubber plant, we do have tree, what we call coconut tree, especially the agriculture resources. We have a very abundant, but and also the high government intervention will have the tendency to get involved in corrupt practice. Why? Example like tender. Okay. I hope that you will not manipulate what I'm saying here, because this is the real thing happen in out there. If you want to get a tender, you can't just say, I want that tender, I'll apply that tender. You will not get anything. But if you want to have something, they must be together with the coffee money, table money, what else, the other terms, okay? Duit kopi katanya. The coffee money is considered like something like we call as corruption. You give some this coffee money, let's say 10,000 K, and then it's considered that you can please maybe prioritize me towards this tender, especially the tender government. But it depends how trustworthy it are. Supposedly they have to be like what we call a very transparent procedure. Okay, you have to be follow a certain of process and flow. You submit your proposal, and when the proposal tender should be announcing, and when should we get result. And meaning to say, the internal person shouldn't disclose any information to the prospect of the company. But if you do tendency like that, actually you try to get some of your conflict of interest from that. You get me? You try to find some of the advantages from the company that you want to know that whether that particular company will get for the tender or not. Okay? So that is not good things to do. Alright? All of a sudden I'm changing my posture and position. Sorry, yeah. Alright, and then the fourth one, we do have corruptions reduce the return on investment and leads to the slow economic growth. So I told you before, okay, because when once the company, okay, or selected of particular countries, okay, they want to expand, okay, their products or services to another country, meaning to say they will do some what we call exporting or maybe we do like importing, right? The process of export, import, franchising, licensing, or in another way around, foreign direct investment, foreign portfolio investment, and it leads to the slow economic growth. Why I say so? Because when you involve in a corruption, tendency to run away, okay, you won't want to pay for the some government tax, okay, the taxes, okay, you will try to run away and you try to maybe in maybe like yeah, still also smuggling certain products, okay, and services into the country, but in another way around. So not in the legal way, but illegal way. So in terms of the ROI, return on investment, will be down, okay, will be decreased, and it leads to very slow economic growth, okay, because why? Uh, if we say only one country or one company is not paying tax, maybe it's not so obvious or not be very prevailing. But if let's say we take around 10 companies, okay, maybe they are joining or maybe they are already expanding their products, but through in the channel we around like what we call smuggling, let's say. So indirectly it might be have some impacts, okay, towards the return on investment. And one company should pay for the tax maybe yearly. Okay, so can you imagine if yearly they pay and then they have 10 companies, or maybe we can take like 100 companies, of course the return on investment on the government will be reduced. And of course this will lead to the slow economic growth, because we are talking about GDP and GNP right now, gross domestic product and also gross national product. So indirectly it will be slow economic growth impact. Okay, and then the fifth one, corruption reduce the government income tax. I told you about this many times, from point 1, point 2, point 4, and also point 5. So indirectly it's reduce the government income. Supposedly the government income tax revenue will use in order to facilitate the public, especially when your income tax pay to the government, right? So of course they want to give some facilities to the public, to do highway, to do RNR, to do all the facilities, example. But when you are actually already reducing the government income by involving in these corruption activities, it slowly impact to the government tax revenue. Okay? So for you maybe it's a just small act. Kecil je. Benda tu tak ada apa. But it's a gift for big impact. Because remember, from the small hole, if you not fix it, it will become a big hole. Oh, gitu. Saya guna akronim dah. Daripada lubang kecil, jika tidak diatur, tidak diperbaiki, tidak dijahit lah contohnya kan. Small hole, for example, at your trousers or at your pants or maybe at your shirt, example. If you not fix it, you keep using it, and using it, from the small hole, it can become a big hole. Nampak? Nampak kita rasa macam benda tu kecil. Okay, tak ada apalah yang berlaku. But actually it's give sangat besar impactnya. Okay? Alright, so I'm moving to the next one. Alright. So this is example, the Corruption Perception Index ranking 2014. Even though it's index ranking 2014, but I adapted these sources from Transparency International website, okay? And if you realize from here, I've been retrieved this one on 17 May 2016. So considerable that 4 years back is still update. You get me? Because I believe I'm doing this manual, I'm updating 4 years back. Okay, but some that is a major amendment, okay, major um improvisation in my manual. But from semester to semester, we'll put some okay additional, especially when come to like assignments, because I compile it everything at the back, especially here. Okay, the case study. Okay, so everything I will have to update. Okay, all right. So why all of a sudden? Okay, I have some iklan pula advertisement here. Okay, so corruption perception index ranking 2014. Okay, the first one is goes to Denmark. Okay, Denmark with 9.2 scores. If you realize, rank number 1, 50 and 175, I enlarged the bold and I bolded it. Saya besarkan dan saya pekatkan. Okay, saya hitamkan. Because I want to show to you all that is the highest ranking will goes to Denmark country, and the moderate one, the middle one, we goes to Malaysia country, and the last one we do have Somalia. The question might be asked like this, okay, from all the following country, which have a very least corruption. Okay, if you want to read this table, 9.2 is not the highest one, but 9.2 is representative of 92% Denmark clean in the corruption. Okay, faham? Saya ulang lagi sekali. Daripada table tersebut, okay, from this table, it show that 9.2, even it's been scored like this, but in the percentage, 92% Denmark's clean from the corruption perception, okay, perceptive, okay, perspective, yeah. Okay, so corruption perspective. Jadi 92% corruption is meaning to say Denmark clean from corruption. Bersih. Maknanya how much is involved in corruption? Only 0.8 or equals to 8%. Okay. Why? Okay. Denmark is a very, very good country. If I'm not mistaken, they do also provide some scholarship for those their people they want to further their study. The government encourage on that. If the children is getting diplomas, they have to go for the degrees that to have masters, and the parents also have to upgrade themselves. Okay, in studying. Okay, that is Denmark. And then number two, Denmark also provides a very good facilities in their medical. Okay, they do provide, even though they pay for high tax, let's say 50%, okay, from their salary, but some of the salary actually have to be put, for example, like public transport, for example, you not have to pay for that. Okay, maybe you should pay, but the payment is not like highly like normal practice, maybe subsidized under the government. Okay, so that is Denmark, very clean. Okay, and Malaysia, this is before the tragedy, or you know what I'm trying to say, right? Before this, okay, before the before 2 years, two can I say two semester of government, okay, Malaysia at 5.2, meaning 52% clean from corruption, and 4.8 or 48% is involved in corruption. We are in the middle. And the last one, Somalia, 0.8 is clean from corruption, meaning to say only 8% is not involved in corruption. The rest, 92%, is involved in corruption. Okay, so it's like contrast from the Denmark. Okay, because you can see Denmark is 9.2, Somalia is 0.8. So meaning to say Somalia is totally have a very, very high in terms of the corruption, perceptive perspective. Okay, all right, so this, if you want to know the latest up to 2020, maybe you can just log on into this http www .transparency.organization. Okay, so you can just click here for those, you see they have click hand here, right? Okay, you just right hand click, open in the link in a new tab, and then you can see there will be like another versions of the website here. See? Then you can check, okay, how much that the country involved in the corruption. Okay, see? All right, and corruption example. Okay, you can see it from here. Okay, report corruption. Continue to the website. So you can go with in here actually. If you want to report the corruption, right? Okay, but yeah, you can have some maybe some explore on this. Okay, all right, and then we moving to the next one, the types of the corrupt practices. I believe everybody might be wonder why, madam, you just put the keywords and types. If yeah, this is for you to remember because the rest is in my manual and the long notes. Okay, so of course that is my intention. Okay, because I want you to have like snapshot on that. Okay, and it's very important if you do buy. I have high hot selling on my international business manual. Thank you so much. Iklan lagi advertisement for support my manual, buying my manual. And if you do have the manual, please turn to page 225 and you can see here, okay, there is numerous and lengthy of my, all I do is for you all. So all the wording here, I do my own research and add some, I do some my reading and research from other sources I combine here. So it become your manual today. And it takes around 11 years to come out with this kind of manual. I do not know how about other lecturer. I don't want because different lecture, different way. But for me, in this kind of industry, education industry, we must have the latest and updates, the information to you, student. We want our student to be very latest info, okay, in anything they did. Okay, so of course it's come from the lecturer too. So when you are have the latest knowledge, indirectly it picturing that the student is very aware and very assertiveness. Okay, and when you are the one who are very good, okay, in actually applied to your knowledge, and we feel proud on it. Okay, it's not for us, it's for you. Okay, all right, so for those who have the manual, turn to page 225. Mostly in class, face-to-face class, I do ask the student to read. Okay, to read. Sometime I'm read also this statement. Okay, so we know, okay, what is bribery. Okay, so to highlight, I want you to remember, maybe you can go together with me. We have four, okay? The types of corrupt practices, we have bribery, smuggling, second one, third, money laundering, and fourth, piracy and counterfeit. We repeat again. Number one, we do have bribery. Number two, smuggling. Number three, we do have money laundering. And the fourth one, piracy and counterfeit. Okay, let's go together with this our manual notes. Okay, what is bribery? Okay, bribery is a crime whereby a sum or gift given alter the behavior of the persons in a ways not consistent with the duties of that person. Okay, so meaning to say a sum or given alter or a gift. A sum or the gift can alter, okay, sejenis hadiah ataupun sesuatu yang diterima yang boleh mengubah tingkah laku seseorang with not consistent, yang tidak seiring dengan tanggungjawab yang diberikan terhadap orang tersebut. Okay, so meaning to say when you give something like let's say money, or maybe you give some little gift, okay, to your, not for you it's little but for them it's a big gift, it can alter ni mengubah, it can change your behavior. Maybe I give very simple example like us. If let's say the student is giving something like gift, okay, gift, right? And mostly what I did was I'm doing akad, not akad nikah, something like this is a gift, okay? This is not bribe, because when you consider it's a bribe, it can alter your behavior. Itu saya selalu buat lah. I'm consider this is a gift, madam, this is a gift for you. This is a gift, this is not bribe. I should have that. I accept this gift, but it's not related anything with your marks, carry marks and so forth. Kita kena telus direct, okay, with the student. For those student, sometimes they give my gift to me, present to me. Maybe you have the experience on that. Okay, even though you just gave something like souvenir coming back from Umrah, or maybe you do your Hajj before, right? I still also have to akad that way. If not, it's considered bribe. Pening tau. Niat student baik nak bagi kita hadiah. Kita yang menerima hadiah ni, kita rasa sesuatu. Bila kita rasa sesuatu, kita kena ada akad tu lah. Bukanlah, I didn't say that through akad it can clean everything. No. But through akad, even though the student maybe not doing a good performance, okay, during final exam and the assessment, and sudden he fail, he or she fail. You miss ni cakap he je. No. He or she fail. But I cannot use the all akad just now to alter from the fail to become pass. You get me? So that is wrong. Itu banyak berlaku. Sebab tu when I said just now, when come to us, when we've been tested in the corrupt practices, even corrupt is not just only get for the money, give or anything, facilities, benefit that can alter your decision. Alter the decision, right? Alter decision from maybe you should fail, it become pass, is considered also bribe. Allah tahu hukumnya. Kita sendiri, how we put into that things, okay? Alright, so bribery can also define as offering, okay, giving, receiving, or soliciting of any item of value to influence the actions of an official or other person in discharge of the public or legal duty. So dia kata rasuah ini berbentuk seperti offer. Okay, kita macam bagi, kita macam offer lah. Offer ni lebih kepada macam memberi sesuatu. Kita menyediakan ruang untuk dia kan. Giving, memberi lah, memang sah lah. Receiving, menerima. Soliciting, mengubah dalam bentuk of any item of value. Mungkin bukan duit tapi dalam bentuk kereta. Or maybe you change it into condominium. Or maybe facilities to queue and speed up the queue example. Sepatutnya gilirannya minggu depan tapi dicepatkan ke minggu ni contohnya. And what else? The value to influence the action, mempengaruhi tingkah laku seorang pegawai or official or other person in charge, in discharge of the public or legal duty. Yang bertugaslah terutamanya dalam perkhidmatan awam, okay, dalam government. Okay, government servant example. So that is a duty. So you can't do that. And the bribe is the gift to influence the receiver conducts. Selalunya rasuah ni adalah berbentuk hadiah yang untuk mempengaruhi bagaimana penerima seseorang tu. Okay, it may be in the form of cash money. Okay, it can be cash money, petty corruptions, goods, property, preferment, privilege, emolument, object of value, advantage, or any promise or undertaking to induce or influence the action, vote or influence of the person in an official or public capacity. Dia kata ini dalam bentuk duit lah, dalam bentuk duit cash, petty corruption, ni selalu bentuk cash money ni yang selalulah dibuat dalam bentuk rasuah ni. Goods, barangan, property, harta benda, preferment ni dia macam dia preferred you. Dia akan menyediakan dia khas untuk you. Bila orang lain tak boleh. Dia prefer. Dia lebih selesa kan? Betul ke selesa? Macam you are taking advantage because he preferred on you. Okay, so ada special treatment lah on you. Okay, and then privilege. Privilege pun special treatment. Emolument. Ini setiap bulan pula bagi bank into your money account. And then object of value. Like I said so, kereta, rumah. Okay. And advantage or any promise, kebaikan ke advantage ni sesuatu benda yang dijanjikan lah. Okay. And any promise, janjikan or undertaking to induce or influence the action. Okay. Vote or person or influence or person in the public, in an official or public capacity. Ini ataupun kita nak dapatkan macam vote, cabut undi, ataupun macam kita dalam pilihan raya contohnya, okay, cabut undi, orang mengundi kita. So this is the kind of thing. And this is a form of the political corruption. Dia kata ada juga dalam bentuk rasuah dalam bentuk politik, and is generally considered unethical and is illegal. Dia kata dikategorikan sebagai benda yang tidak beretika dan juga illegal, haram. For example, a motorist may bribe a police officer not to issue a summon for speeding. So dia bagi duit. Okay, dia bagi duit, mungkin duit kopi, memang betul duit kopi, RM10. Okay, ringgit Malaysia ke rupiah ke kan. Dibagi pada pak polisi. Kemudian pak polisi pun tidak jadi untuk bagi saman. Okay. And a citizen seeking paperwork, ada yang memerlukan macam proposal lah, paperwork tu. Or utility line connection may bribe a functionary for faster service. Bila ada network, ada connection, orang kata orang dalam, orang luar, orang besar, orang kecil, kabel besar, kabel kecil, all is the term. Menggunakan orang-orang tertentu for functionary for faster service, untuk perkhidmatan yang lebih cepat, sebab you kenal orang dalam. Contoh, a construction company may bribe government official to win a contract. Ini yang saya cakap tadi lah. Kadang-kadang syarikat-syarikat yang memberi rasuah supaya pada pegawai-pegawai kerajaan ni untuk mempercepatkan, untuk mendapatkan kontrak atau tender dalam bentuk yang penting lah dekat dalam government kan. Or a narcotic smuggler may bribe a judge to reduce criminal penalties. Dia kata mungkin penagih, it's not penagih lah, narcotic smuggler ni adalah pengedar dadah. Yang melibatkan yang mengedar dadah, mereka akan cuba untuk memberi rasuah, okay, kepada mereka, kepada hakim agar mereka dapat mengurangkan penalti tuduhan. Contohnya sepatut 10 tahun, jadi 5 tahun contohlah. Alright. In addition to that, according to Shafi Muhammad 2010, indicate that when the culture have different standards of ethical behavior and different ways, okay, dia kata, of handling unethical behavior, a company that takes an absolutist approach may find itself making a disastrous mistake. Dia kata jika mereka tidak tahu macam mana nak, sebab different culture will have a different standard. Okay, how they implement will be totally different. Where we have a cultural blunting. Ini kita belajar dekat topik 2 sebenarnya. For those who are reading my long notes and books, manual, you can see the term. When you have the cultural blunting, this will be happen. Okay, because you have disaster mistakes. So they said in here, for instance, in Japan, people doing business together often exchange give sometimes expensive wine in keeping with the long-standing Japanese traditions. On the other hand, Western business people like the Americans and European consider the practice of gift giving to be wrong, because for them accepting a gift is akin to accepting a bribe, resulting in their losing their contract unnecessarily. So di Jepun, interruption just now, okay. So in Japan, there will be totally like encouraging, okay, when people doing transaction give some expensive gift, okay. Alright. Sekejap ya. There will be like, I hope it's okay right now. Hello, hello. Okay, testing. Okay, right. Because they said my audio is not okay. All right. So in Japan, it's considered like giving something expensive gift. Okay, but like on the other hand, Western counterpart is considered like American and European gift giving. I think it's considered like you will lose your contract. Tak semena-mena je you boleh menyebabkan you kehilangan kontrak disebabkan you bagi expensive gift ke. So it's considered wrong. So no giving, no gift policy. Tak ada pemberian hadiah. And research by Donaldson and Dunphy in 1995 has shown that management ethics varies among the culture, and respecting those differences mean recognizing that some cultures have obvious weaknesses as well as the hidden strength. Okay. For example, in Egypt, gift can be given but should not consist of the alcohol or item made of the pig skin, which could be considered offensive in this predominantly Muslim country. You know that particular country is a Muslim country, but you give something like insulting them or it's considered like offensive. Okay. So meanwhile, in other non-Muslim country, it may be permissible to give such gift. So if you give to the another particular country who maybe is permissible, okay, to have like this alcohol, to have like a pig skin, some items made from pig skin is okay. But if you give to the kinds of the country who are not allowed, okay, it's considered haram, okay, because of like expensive liquor, for example, or maybe expensive meat again, and so do the meat sometimes like it have to be legally slaughter mean halal, okay fine. But if not halal, okay, means like illegal and totally you give like pig meat, for example, it's like hamburger or maybe ham, yeah, ham meat, right? So it's something like offensive, okay. And it's stated here managers in Hong Kong, for instance, have a higher tolerance for some forms of bribery than their Western counterparts, but they have a much lower tolerance for the failure to acknowledge its subordinate work. Dia kata di Hong Kong, kebanyakannya pengurusnya mempunyai toleransi yang sangat tinggi in the form of bribery. So mereka can tolerate, okay? Okay lah, fine. Hong Kong, Taiwan, like in Japan, they're fine with it, okay, with bribery. However, okay, in the Western counterpart, like in another counterpart country, they have so much lower tolerance on it. So if you give them some gift or maybe you give some money to them, okay, considered as the bribe. Maybe you said it's just a bribe, or maybe this is just considered like what we call not bribe, it's a gift. Okay. So in their country is considered something like lower tolerance. Dia tak boleh toleransi lah. So they are more acknowledged on your subordinate work. So meaning clean work. Okay lah. Mereka menghargai orang yang bekerja dengan bersungguh-sungguh. Okay. Alright. So the second one, we do have smuggling. Okay. So what is smuggling? Okay. Smuggling is illegal transport of products including human trafficking. Okay. Termasuk penyeludupan manusia. Okay. Jadi illegal transport of product secara haram. Okay. Memindahkan produk across a border. So the main idea of smuggling is to avoid trade barriers, including tax payment. Okay, dia kata the main idea, okay, untuk penyeludupan ini adalah untuk menghindari membayar cukai. Saya dah sebut tadi kan, okay. And smuggling damage legitimate importers who find themselves competing against similar products sold or lower cost. So dia kata smuggling is likely to occur in nation sharing, contiguous border with the substantial differences in the availability and cost of goods, such as the smuggling of diesel and sugar from Malaysia to Thailand. This is according to Sir Samsul et al. 2011. So dia kata kat sini kebanyakan bila dilakukan perpindahan secara haram dan melibatkan produk termasuk manusia, dan selalunya smuggling penyeludupan ini dilakukan di kawasan yang mempunyai kita kata borders ataupun zone yang berdekatan Kita kata contohnya kalau Indonesia is nearby to Kalimantan, okay, like Malaysia, a part of like Sarawak is nearby to Kalimantan, like Bukit Kayu Hitam nearby to Thailand, Sungai Golok nearby to Thailand, okay, Johor is a part with the Indonesia, okay. So this is some of the contiguous borders yang berdekatan dan probability to because it's too near. Kalau Sungai Golok ni dari sini sampai ke hujung bilik saya ni, sekejap je kita boleh sampai kan. So it's very nearby. So that's why the probability to people will say it's not smuggling, it's just bring. But it's considered because it's about contiguous border. Dia adalah satu wilayah-wilayah negara yang lain kan. Kita ada border. By definition, smuggling can be explained as the clandestine import of goods from one jurisdiction to another. So this is according to Deflim and Henry 2001, while Merriman 2003 stated smuggling as the invention of taxes on the good circumvention of the borders control. In theory, the magnitude of the supply and demand could create smuggling. Ni boleh jadi jugalah kalau you belajar in economic class, okay? When the demand is high, okay, and maybe the price is considered high too. So people considered to have this smuggling. Switch to the another alternative to have a cheaper one because mostly smuggling they will offer at the lower cost. Because why? They don't need to pay the tax. That's the things that they already done. But according to the theory, it's considered illegal because you tendency to bring people under the another alternative, which is illegal alternative market. Alright, Fazane Gun 2008 corroborated that when the state intervention bring a wedge between international and domestic prices through custom and exercise the duties and trade restriction, there is a chance for the underground economy to develop. Dia kata kalau berlakunya pihak custom, okay, yang akan menjalankan dia punya orang kata tanggungjawab kan, duties them to check on that, and then they start to have a chances for the underground economy. Underground economy meaning illegal economy start to develop. So they know where is the place that the custom officer is doing something like checking, inspection on that. Okay, and then also maybe the custom got some info that these lorries maybe bring something illegal. They also when open inspect there is nothing inside because the internal might be already, yeah, can I say like giving information. We do watch this kind of scenario in the movie, right? Okay, so by earning income from importing goods through the state borders as violating the rules, smugglers could earn a handsome profit. Of course, handsome of profits because they do not pay tax and somehow they actually encourage people buying their product at a lower cost. So it's something like shame to say this because why you do not know what is halal, what is haram. You just bark on it. Okay, so like in like a Muslim entrepreneur, even non-Muslim right now, they have awareness on this, right? So the doing a good things is meaning that in the legal way. Doing a wrong things meaning it's illegal way is haram, huh? Alright, and then smugglers obtain their income by avoiding state control, regulation, and related costs. So this is according to Lichuan Free Market Institute 2004. On the implications, smuggling has various effects towards our economy. It can cause losses in the government revenues that impacts towards the internal structures of the society by promoting illegal institutions besides changing the pattern of consumption. It's according to Domingos in 1975, hence the GDP and the income distribution will also be affected. According to Varzanegan 2008, smugglers avoid border check by using small ships, okay, private airplane or through overland smuggling routes and smuggling tunnels, okay. So they use the kind of these things, okay, in order to smuggle from one country to the country. So they use a very small ships, and then sometimes they use private airplane. Even though right now, what is the current technology? They use drone, you know. So that's why in Malaysia, for those Indonesian students in Malaysia, we do have like department under police, okay, uh, we do also have like drone department that specifically to detect who drone illegally doing some their route in the sky, and then they will detect. So that's why I impressed actually when I watched one documentary. It's about how our police officer, okay, police department, okay, under Royal Malaysia is doing PDRM, or Police Department Royal Malaysia is doing this they do like ops, right? Something like to inspect on those who are illegal, maybe using drone to do some this smuggling, nowadays is more like more high tech. On the more high technology, the more advances in the kinds of illegal activity, and then they also use like overland smuggling routes. Okay, so maybe they use something like we call as a mouse tunnels. Okay, guna jalan tikus, and smuggling tunnels. Okay, all right. And then the third one, we have the money laundering. Okay, okay, money laundering, how I want you, it's not about the money you put into your washing machine and then you clean it out and then you laundry it. No, but the concept is there. Okay, so money laundering is something like you get a portion of money. Let's say the money is illegal money, okay, haram money, is forbidden money, and then you want to clean it. Okay, you want to legitimize it. And how you do it? By you buying maybe maybe certain land. Okay, a land. Okay, you bayar tanah, you beli tanah lah. And from that land, what you do, you reconstruct development by maybe do some project on housing. For example, condominium. Okay, and then what happened from this condominium project? People will not ask you where you get the money. Is it the money is from money laundering? Is it the money is come from bribery, corruption? People don't ask. People already know that the project is there. And people start to buy and booking the house. Are you get me? So the money is from illegal, and then it's been transferred to the market, it been legitimized, and then it been already become legal. But that is again now I too intention is not make it everything halal, tayyiban. Niat tidak menghalalkan cara. Sekali lagi. Okay, so money laundering can be defined as the practice of the practice. Defined as the practice of the practice. Practice of engaging in specific financial transaction in order to conceal the identity, the source and destination of the money, and its main operation of the underground economy. So mostly, the sources of the money laundering is come from illegal money. Okay, so it's involved concealing the source fund from illegal activity by channeling them into legitimized business activity. This is the thing that I explained before. In the past, the term money laundering was applied only to the financial transaction related to the organized crime. Today, its definition is often expanded by the government regulators to encompass any financial transaction which generates, as an asset or a value as the result of an illegal act, which may involve action such as tax evasion or false accounting. Ni melibatkanlah tax evasion ni apabila berlakunya kita kata manipulation dari segi tax, okay, and also false accounting. Yang ni bahaya, okay. Benda yang tak balance in the account, you can make it balance, okay, and we do have the expertise out there like that. They are really expert in doing this false accounting or creative accounting. As a result, the illegal activity of the money laundering is now recognized as potentially practiced by individual, small and large business, and corrupt official members of organized crime such as the drug dealers. So sometimes this money is getting come from from those people, okay, from the illegal transaction to that one, and even corrupt states or the government agency. Ini jika badan kerajaan yang terlibat dengan rasuah lah. It's according Samsul et al. 2011. And money laundering is the process by which criminal create the illusions that the money they are spending is actually theirs to spend. Pada mereka, selalunya, is according to the Guy Stenson in 2000. They say money laundering is the money is the process macam mana penjenayah tersebut kriminal menyatakan money itu adalah money mereka. duit itu duit mereka untuk dibelanjakan. So this is how their interpretation. According to Section 3 Anti-Money Laundering Act 2001, define money laundering as the act of the person who engage directly or indirectly in a transaction that involve proceeds of any unlawful activity and who inquires, receive, possess, disgust, transfer, converts, okay, exchange, carries, dispose, use, remove from or bring into Malaysia proceeds of any unlawful activity. This is according to Zulkifli Hassan and Abdul Hamid 2010. Jadi dalam Section 3 Akta Anti-Money Laundering, okay, dalam bahasa Melayu dia means tak berapa pasti. Anti-Money Laundering Act, okay, 2001 menyatakan duit yang telah di-cycle lah, yang telah digitar dalam bentuk adalah berbentuk di mana seseorang itu terlibat secara langsung atau tidak langsung dalam transaksi yang melibatkan sesuatu aktiviti yang haram, yang mempunyai, yang menerima, yang possess, yang menguasai, yang discuss, yang menukar bentuk, yang memindahkan, yang menukarkan dalam bentuk tukar milik, carries, membawa, dispose, yang menukarkan dan melenyapkanlah, menggunakan serta memindahkan daripada sesuatu from or bring into Malaysia, yang membawa sesuatu ke Malaysia dan terus kepada unlawful activity, kepada transaction activity yang tidak sahih atau tidak sah. Okay. According to Zulkifli et al. 2010, there are 3 main stages of money laundering process. Ada 3 fasa, okay, 3 stage. Okay. The first stage is a placement. Placement ni memindahkan dalam bentuk di mana, which mean illegal profit which introduced into the financial system. Jadi money yang telah haram tadi, okay, illegal money tadi dipindahkan ke dalam kewangan, sistem kewangan. So the illegal profit may derive from the public. Ini resources dia kan, mana dia dapat dia, sources sumber-sumber dia. So the illegal profit may derive from drug trafficking, daripada penyeludupan dadah, prostitution link yang melibatkan penginaran ataupun cycle of the prostitution ni, pelacur lah. Kemudian insider smuggling, penyeludupan, illegal arms sale. Illegal arms sales ni bermaksud penyeludupan senjata api. Illegal arms sale, penyeludupan ataupun penjualan senjata api, which is like in Malaysia we not allowed to sell the arms. Okay, illegal arms sales. We not allowed to sell weapons even though and then kidnapping for ransom, okay, penculikan yang meminta tebusan, ransom tu tebusan, embezzlement penyeludupan wang, insider trading, ini melibatkan trading atau transaction dari orang dalam memberi maklumat kepada competitors pesaing dengan syarat dia mendapat duit tersebut lah. Kemudian bribery, rasuah, computer fraud scheme, penipuan melalui komputer. Kemudian get rich quick schemes, skim cepat kaya, and the sales of the children, penjualan kanak-kanak. Okay, in India, correct me if I'm wrong, every 1 hour there will be 25 children being kidnapped. Being kidnapped. Okay, dalam 1 jam kira-kira 25 orang kanak-kanak diculik. Miss tengok ni berdasarkan fakta, ada sebuah movie dan biasalah India film is very good. Indian film, they do actually deliver message from their film. Okay, so they said according to the statistic, every 1 hour, every 60 minutes there will be 25 children will lost due to kidnap. Bayangkan how fast they are doing this work, illegal work. And then smuggling of human being and organs, dan penyeludupan manusia serta organ lah. Organ ni banyak kalau kita tengok kan. And then secondly is layering of funds. Layering ni macam cuba melayerkan, cuba untuk meletakkan one portion, one layer ataupun which have entered the financial system and are then distant from their source through the transactions such as purchase and sales of investment instrument. Dia beli saham ke, dia beli tanah ke, or through multiple transfer of fund from different account around the world discussed as a payment for goods or services, ataupun meletakkan di account yang berbeza di seluruh dunia. This is how they layering the funds. Layering ni meletakkan, mengagihkan, something like that, the illegal payment into the financial system, so people will not detect it, especially for those who are doing the inspection. Okay, and then the third one, the last stage is integration. Example, to integrate the illegal proceeds back into the economy as legitimate fund through legitimate transactions such as business venture, luxury asset and also lending and investing. So dia meletakkan dalam bentuk macam mana nak jadikan illegal proses tadi menjadi dalam bentuk legitimate fund, iaitu dalam bentuk dana yang sah. Tiba-tiba jadi halal, tiba-tiba jadi sahih melalui dengan buat business venture, membuatkan perkongsian bisnes ataupun joint venture, or maybe luxury asset, okay, melalui pembelian aset-aset yang mahal, tanah, bangunan kedai, mall dan sebagainya. Lending, meminjamkan. Ada yang buat pula bukan money laundering, dia buat lending lah, meminjamkan macam shark loan tu, and also investing dan pelaburan. Okay, and the last one kita ada piracy and counterfeit. This is the last one for this subtopic, but later I will be continue in 7.4. Don't worry, it will be second part. Okay, piracy or counterfeit infringement is an unauthorized use of material that is governed by intellectual property or copyright law. Example, music, video, paintings, and books that violates one or several of the copyrighted work or to make derivative works. Okay, an example is the unlawful downloading and sharing of recorded music in MP3 format. So for you guys who are using illegal Microsoft, okay, please raise up your hand. Okay, and the promotional DVD distributed by movie studios, okay, often for consideration for awards, are common source of unauthorized copying when movies are still in cinema release. I believe that no more are using like camcorder to record, no more. They do have some application and apps, software, to do something like record movie. Movie are also copied by someone sneaking a camcorder into movie theater and secretly taping the projection and making copies for sale to the public. No more like this. They do have any what we call more advanced technology on these apps than the officially released version of the film. Although such copies are often of poorer quality than the official release version of the film. Of course, they do want to buy more cheaper. Maybe before this they had sold at 5 ringgit or 10 ringgit, and then they sold in like in the mostly like in the night market. They just put a red clothes there, and then they put the CD after when there will be like municipal officer coming like DBKL or maybe like from MPAJ, and then there will be rush it and then take that clothes and then they bring together with the CD, they run away, right? Tu cara dia. Ops dia lah, dia larikan diri, letakkan kain, letakkan CD dia, jual-jual, bila dia dengar ada orang nak rush, dia lari. So this is what they do that in Malaysia. So according to Ahsanul Haq Ali Katibi and Sabir Rahman 2009, China, Thailand, India and Malaysia, pronouncing Malaysia are known as the home for privacy. Jadi kita ni salah satu rumah kepada pirate-pirate ni lah, lanun-lanun. Sometimes various products are copied in such a very skillful ways that they break out all possible pursuits from intellectual property and rights such as design, copyright or trademark legislation. Mereka ni sangat skillful lah, mahir dalam mencetak rompak. These types of the product are known as lookalikes, and then salvage copies, knockoff and so on. Okay, and wait, student. Hello, Assalamualaikum. Hello. Betul. Hello. Ya. Boleh. Sebab saya tengah online kelas sekarang ni. Tengah kelas. Tengah dengan Zoom. Okay, okay, okay. Waalaikumsalam. Alright, sorry for the disturbance, okay? Yeah, someone is want to meet me, okay? So that's why I said I'm still online class, okay? Alright, so where are we? Yeah, they said here, sometimes various products are copied in such a very skillful way that they break out all the possible pursuits from intellectual property rights such as design, copyright, or trademark legislations. And these types of the product are known as like lookalikes, salvage copies. Lookalike ni yang sama menyerupai. Kalau kita tengok macam sama je dengan ori. Cuma for those who are loyal customer, you know which one is the ori one, which is not ori product, right? Okay, and then salvage copies macam merupai knock off, okay? Kadang-kadang Nike jadi Nike, example, right? Adidas jadi Sadidas, okay? And then knockoff and so on. In the case of Malaysia, it is a fighting not only to protect its fish from US, but it's also fighting for the original company. They are losing their money to the pirated products. The reason why, how do this counterfeit product is mostly have high demand due to number one, because they do what to say that they really concerned, okay, because they don't want to use that product, but they not actually what we call afford to use it. So what they do is, what they did was they have some alternative using a non-original one like counterfeit product, and then they still use it, okay. And then it is the government continuous effort in eliminating this harmful practice to ensure that the success of Malaysian national and economic growth. And the software piracy level in Malaysia is still high. According to the Business Software Alliance's 2000 Global Software Piracy Study, business software piracy in Malaysia was 66% in 2000. So this is according to Business Software Alliance. So this is during in 2000. I believe nowadays might be increasing nowadays because, yeah, we're talking about software piracy, right? Alright, and then counterfeit is an imitation products that is made usually with the intent to deceptively represent its contents or origins. The word counterfeit most frequently describe forged currency. Menggunakan forged currency ni mata wang palsu lah. Menggunakan mata wang palsu or documents, but can also describing clothing, software, pharmaceutical, watch, or any other manufactured item, especially when this is result in patent or trademark infringement. Okay, so they say example include imitation Rolex, any very popular, Gucci, Nike, Crocs products sold at the night market in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Can you imagine Kuala Lumpur specific in Pasar Seni? Okay, Pasar Seni. And counterfeit covers a wide range of the consumer item in which the imitation products look like the original, not just specific in Pasar Seni, but all other counterparts in Malaysia. We have the night markets. We can see that this imitation is like growing like mushroom after the rain. Dia macam apa kita kata mushroom, cendawan yang tumbuh selepas hujan, macam itulah dia berkembang. Because there is a demand on that, people buying the imitation product. According to the McDonald, not McDonald, I'm loving it. McDonald and Robert, this is the scholars, okay. 1994, any investigation of the product or copyright infringement reveals several categories of activities. For instance, of infringement cover a variety of interrelated phenomena: piracy, counterfeiting, lookalikes, sound-alikes, knockoff brand, and large gray area. So large gray area, how actually the large gray area happen is between black and white market together, okay. And the latter would include, for example, the unauthorized sale of the garment production overruns, okay, by legitimately contracted manufacturers. A good product can be sold at a lower price. Memanglah, because they do not pay the tax, and then some more they imitate the product. They not pay to the original products, okay. And then what happened? thereby attracting more buyers because they can sold at low price. For instance, a Malaysian manufacturer has followed Levi's jean design and color. I do see this one in the night market. Okay, many of the lipstick, foundation, powder, not power, lip gloss and other cosmetic items have been imitated from the original producers such as Lancome, Estee Lauder, and L'Oreal and others. So I believe like the girls in IIC and yeah, my girls students, you know, right? When we are buying this kind of things, sometimes they are not in a very good quality and sometimes it can affect to our face, right? Don't use it. Please buy the original one because we do not know what been added inside that. And then these original goods were sold at the price whereby the lower income group could only dream of owning. So that's why the lower income group have the demand, high demand on it. So that's why they don't care as long they can use it. And then so when it was pirated and so many others could afford them. See? And therefore it encouraged the production of pirated goods is according to Huck et al. 2009. So the reason why for the counterfeit and copyrights product keep on mushrooming like after the rain because there is a demand and there is a buyer for it. Okay, so I stop for a now. Thank you for now. Thank you for listening. I will be right back. Okay, for the second part. Don't worry, stay, and I will tell you when once it's released in new. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Bye. Assalamualaikum. I'm stopped for a while. Just take a break for a while. Okay, thank you.